Vidvas Learning is a product of Vidvas Technologies Pvt. In this session, we would go over Voice over LTE Call flow. The following is the list of widely used abbreviations in LTE EPC. The diagram shows non-roaming architecture for 3GPP access. We assume that you have fair understanding of LTE EPC architecture. If not, please go over Vidvas Learning LTE EPC overview video tutorial. The diagram shows Voice over LTE IMS core architecture. We assume that you have fair understanding of IMS core architecture. If not, please go over Vidvas Learning video tutorial. Let us go over Voice over LTE Call flow. Assume UE is already registered in LTE and has a default PDN connection for the APN Internet. Here we discuss how UE establishes second PDN connection for the APN IMS. UE sends NAS PDN connectivity request for the APN IMS. UE enables PCSCF address request bit in protocol configuration option IE of NAS PDN connectivity request message. Here, PCSCF is proxy CSCF of IMS core. ENB forwards the NAS PDN connectivity request in S1 AP uplink NAS transport message to MME. SGW selection by MME is done based on tracking area identity. MME gets a list of SGW, either from database or from DNS. MME selects ISGW from this list via MC hashing. PGW selection is done by MME based on APN that UE has sent. MME uses PGW IP address or PDN gateway name and resolve using DNS if PDN gateway allocation type is static. MME uses PGW IP address resolution using DNS based on APN in case of PDN gateway allocation type is dynamic. If UE does not send APN, MME looks for default APN in UE subscription downloaded from HSS and continue to use that. If UE sends APN and there is no match in subscription, MME looks for wildcard APN record. If there is a record, MME uses that. If UE sends APN and there is no match in subscription and there is no wildcard APN in subscription, MME should send PDN connection reject. In this call flow, assume that UE sends APN and there is a match in the subscription. Operator may even configure static UE IP address at HSS. In that case, MME sends that IP address in create session request message. In that case, PGW uses the IP address received in create session request and does not assign any new IP address for the UE. For a voice over LTE, the default bearer ID of IMS PDN connection needs to have QCI 5. QCI 5 default bearer is capable of carrying SIP signaling. MME sends create session request to SGW by including QCI 5, APN, MC, PGW IP, ERAB ID and other important parameters. SGW sends create session request to PGW. Here SGW learns PGW IP address from create session request. SGW includes its user plane FTE ID as well for downlink. Here PCO is protocol configuration option. If PCO indicates UE IP address allocation using DHCP beyond PDN connectivity procedure, PGW doesn't assign UE IP address. For simplicity, here assume PCO indicates that UE IP address should be assigned during PDN connectivity procedure. Also assume there is no UE IP address sent by MME in create session request. To assign UE IP, PGW has two options. One is to assign UE IP address from its local pool of IP addresses, and the other is make DHCP query and get IP address. Assigned UE IP address is included in the create session response by PGW and is sent to SGW. PGW would also include its user plane FTE ID for uplink and PCSCF address. SGW sends its FTE ID for uplink in create session response to MME. MME sends NAS activate default EPS bearer context request in S1 APE RAB setup request to ENB. NAS activate default EPS bearer context request has QCI 5, UE IP address, PDN type, APN, ERAB ID, PCSCF address, and so on. ENB forwards the NAS message to UE, and allocates FTE ID for downlink and Send this information in S1 APE RAB setup response to MME. UE receives the NAS message, and sends NAS activate default EPS bearer context accept message to MME. After receiving NAS activate default EPS bearer context accept from UE, MME sends modify bearer request to SGW with ENBFTE ID for downlink. SGW sends modify bearer response to MME. Now UE has end-to-end data path established for both uplink and downlink on the IMS PDN connection. All the SIP messages are transported on the default bearer of IMS APN towards proxy CSCF address. UE performs SIP registration procedure. For more details on SIP registration, please go over Vidvas Learning video tutorial. Originating UE sends SIP invite with capability or codec of originating UE over default bearer of IMS PDN connection. Terminating UE sends 183 session progress to proxy CSCF with capability or codec of terminating UE. Proxy CSCF performs service notification procedure with PCRF. PCRF decides to activate dedicated bearer for IMS PDN connection as default bearer of IMS with QCI5 is not enough to a voice call. PCRF initiates dedicated bearer with QCI1. Proxy CSCF sends 183 session progress message to originating UE with capability or codec of terminating UE. PRAC and 200 OK with notification of codec selected are performed between originating UE and terminating UE. Update and 200 OK with completion confirmation of setting up bearer for voice are performed between originating UE and terminating UE. At this point in time, ringing happens at terminating UE. Ringing and PRAC are performed between originating UE and terminating UE. Terminating UE answers the call. Terminating UE sends 200 OK to originating UE. Now voice traffic would happen on the established dedicated bearer. The following is the list of references. RFC 3665 for session initiation protocol or SIP, basic call flow examples. 3GPP 23.401 for LTE architecture. 3GPP 33.401 for security. 3GPP 24.301 for NAS. 3GPP 36.413 for S1 AP. 3GPP 36.423 for X2 AP. 3GPP 29.272 for S6A. 3GPP 29.274 for GTPC. 3GPP 29.281 for GTPU. 3GPP 29.212 for GX. 3GPP 32.299 for GNGZ. For upcoming videos, please subscribe to Vidvas Learning channel on YouTube. For complete set of videos on LTE EPC, please contact us at vidvaslearning@gmail.com. To know more about Vidvas Technologies Pvt Ltd, please visit our website www.vidvas.com. Thank you for watching.